Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. Owen Shroyer here taking over for Alex. We may hear again from Alex before the 4 hours is over, but in the meantime, we've got Howard Caplan coming up this segment, and then wide open, so I may even open up phone lines later on. But first, you heard from Howard last week after he confronted Bill Clinton's book tour. I believe that was in Philadelphia, and that video went viral. Now, check out Howard Caplan again, this time confronting Joe Biden.
Well, what about the girls that you molested on C-SPAN at the Senate swearing in? No. You did it. No.
You see, pause it right there. Pause it right there. This is actually incredible. This is footage on C-SPAN. And listen to how the crowd reacts. Play it one more time. I just want to provide a little context to this. There are dozens and dozens, hours of footage. Joe Biden groping young girls, kissing young girls, being awkward with young girls, inappropriately touching young girls. So much so, in fact, that Jeff Sessions is aware of it. His grandchild is in the state building. Biden reaches over for a grab, and Sessions slaps his hand away. So creepy Uncle Joe Biden is caught on dozens of camera reels groping and inappropriately touching young women. That is a fact. Now listen to how the crowd reacts when Howard Caplan brings that up.
Well, what about the girls that you molested on C-SPAN at the Senate swearing in? No. Let him answer. The scumbag? He did. No, answer. Answer your question.
Inappropriate. It's inappropriate for you to ask that question. Oh, but Joe Biden groping young girls is perfectly fine. All right, so the full video you can find on his Twitter, at PGHowie2. At PGHowie2 is where you can find it on Twitter. Wow. Howard, it's amazing. I mean, what is it like? Like, you just look at the video, you just know things, you have a memory, and you just say, hey, Joe, why are you inappropriately touching all these girls? And then the whole audience comes to his defense. I mean, and it's just undeniable footage here.
Well, I was kind of expecting it because that was in Wilmington, Delaware, and obviously that's his home, his home turf. So, he had a lot of fans in the audience, and so I was kind of expecting that reaction.
What about the heckling that you received on your way out? I mean, what were people saying to you?
Well, I had people behind me. They got into it and they said, this is not the time or the place, something to that effect.
Oh yeah, this is inappropriate, but Biden, touching girls in the government building, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. And usually I'm a little more vocal, but I was real close to him this time, Owen. I see that. Like right up against the stage. I was apparently I read an article where I was sitting behind Biden's sister. I didn't know that. And
good.
Yeah. So the way it went down was he was talking about Beau Biden, and it was like real teary kind of moment, and I'm like trying to plan my strategy because
of course that's his deceased son, whose other son is now, I don't know, maybe is married to his ex-wife, but still married to his other wife. It's a whole weird deal with that too. Right.
And so he's talking about Beau in this real sentimental kind of way. So I'm like, all right, let me just see how this plays out. Well, Beau was like Attorney General of Delaware, I think, and he started talking about Beau's passion for protecting children, and he went after a child molester who was molesting girls as young as 4 years old. Like he just said that out of nowhere, and that's when. And I wish I got that on video, but I wasn't prepared to confront him at that point. And as soon as he said that, that's why I just got up and I said, well, what about the girls that you molested on C-SPAN?
And that's what I'm saying. This is hours and hours of footage. This isn't hidden. Yeah. This isn't secret. This should be well known, yet these people are more offended by you bringing up the truth than by Joe Biden's actual actions. It's really shocking and incredible to me, but that's why what you're doing is so important. So, Howard, talk about why it's so important. Talk about why for the second week in a row you confront these criminals, these scumbags that have infiltrated our government. Talk about why it's so important to face these people down.
Well, I mean, for me, it's my only opportunity. Like, this is the way I can speak. You know, I got involved in it. I got involved in, like, quote unquote street action and going to events, you know, during the 2016 election, just because I felt like I had no voice. So I said, well, I can go outside and do something. I can hold a sign. I can go to a rally, and I can get my voice heard. And it just gives, you know, just gives me the opportunity. And, you know, with social media and getting it out there, you know, it lets other people know that what you're being told is not the truth. Like, this is the truth, and you can go out there and you can confront things, you know, in real life, and, you know, turn off the TV.
You know, and the incredible thing to me, honestly, it drives me crazy, Howard. You've got this whole uprising right now from the radical street activist liberals. They'll have millions of people marching in the Women's March, all this stuff. And the basis is, honestly, it's all anti-Trump. They put different spin on it, the Women's March, the Me Too movement, whatever. It's really all anti-Trump. But that's fine. Absolutely. You know, they can try to spin it off however they want. It shows how phony the whole thing is when Bill Clinton goes on a book tour, and the same people that would go march in the Women's March and a Me Too march will pay $100 to see Bill Clinton. The same people that will march in a Me Too march, that will march in the Women's March, will go stand up for Joe Biden when someone like yourself, a true American hero and patriot, says, hey, why are you touching children on C-SPAN video? That, I don't even know, like, it's the most preposterous notion, but it's real. I mean, that's what we're dealing with. The same people that march for the Women's March, the Me Too march, blame it all on Trump, pay money to see Bill Clinton and Joe Biden. Bill Clinton settled multiple rape cases. Joe Biden on camera touching children inappropriately. I don't even know the words to describe it. This is beyond brainwashing. This is beyond phonyism. This is beyond 1984. It's like, I mean, how do you measure this?
You know, the same way. You know, I confronted Biden one other time up a couple months ago in Long Island, and just my initial thoughts were that the people in that audience didn't know, like, about the C-SPAN videos. I think the people in Wilmington, Delaware, they know Biden so well. I think they know. I think they knew. I mean, their reaction was immediate. In Long Island, people were confused when I got up. Man, there they knew, and they were ready to protect them. And it's like they don't care. It's like they.
I see what you're saying. So it's like they know of the tapes, they know of the video. They've been forced to view it before, and they still have that defense. They still have that Stockholm syndrome defense. Yeah,
that's my feeling. I mean, I can't prove that, but that's the feeling I get.
Well, we got a minute and a half left with you. Can you just motivate other patriots? I mean, Philadelphia used to be the capital. A lot of history in Philadelphia. So I salute you for you know, remaining patriotic in Philadelphia. But just to other info warriors out there that are afraid to do this, why is it so important? How do you feel when you get kicked out of this event? I mean, do you feel the liberty inside you? Do you feel the momentum building?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know, I do get nervous. More so like that I'm going to say the right thing, and it's going to come out well, because I want to represent myself and what I do, and people that support me. I want to represent them well. But once it happens, once the crowd reaction goes, you know, your instincts take over, and you know what you're doing is right, and you know you'll stand up and fight, you know, for what is right. And you know, things are, you know, I've never been arrested. Nothing bad has happened to me, and you know, you can do this. You can do this. It just takes, you know, it just takes that, you know, initial step to go out there and say that you can. And if I can, you know, there's nothing special about me, and it's just something I fell into. So, you know, my hope is that it motivates other people to do the same.
Well, there's certainly something special about you. So don't, I mean, Howard Caplan here at PGHowie2 on Twitter, his YouTube channel, The Traffic Report Show. We need more people like Howard that are willing to stand up and call these people out.